When it comes to trading, it isn't just about being the best technical analysis, reading the charts, or being effective at reading premiums. It simply comes down to how you manage your account and how you're able to manage your profits and maintain your consistency over time. Trading is all about surviving and knowing when to put your foot on the gas and when on the brakes. So in today's session, we're going to be talking about some account management techniques that you can employ into your trading situation. And also we're going to be sharing a little bit of insight about premiums, go over some strategies and details that you can employ in your trading detail. And also we're going to give you a little bit of prediction about where we see the markets going forward based on the news and the premiums in the market. So let's go straight into it. So today, this is our spreadsheet. So our spreadsheet is aggregated from all our trades that we share in real time with our members in my StockX chat room. You can see right over here that these statements are something that is available right in my professor call out trades, and we give everything in real time when the details arise us. Okay, we show all our transactions and all our statements to ensure that we remain transparent with all our trades with all our members in the room. So currently, based off that here, we are having a very successful month by starting around with a P&L around 14,000. Now, as you guys can see here, a lot of these trades are pretty much green and a couple of them are red. Now, one thing I want to pretty much explain to you is that all my open trades, the ones that I swing, I always consider them a zero because I want to always ensure that I know my P&L after I get into every trade. Because if I consider the trade a zero, then I know that the trade, if I do decide to swing it, then I know what I'm left with at the end of the day if the trade goes to nothing, because options are completely risky. All it takes is one news factor to really change the situation. So when you know how much profits you have, that gives you a clear picture in terms of what you can do with your next move. Knowing your next move will really help you, because sometimes I let great trades like this Microsoft put over here, which ran up 120%, go to zero because my risk factor is higher. And I also let Netflix trade, which was 100% during this time, go to zero because I can play with profits. In situations when I don't have profits, I always make sure I take these profits so that my P&L can go back up. Now, as you guys can see here on August 3rd, we swinged all these trades here. They weren't great trades at all, but because my P&L was very good and strong, I knew that it's okay to hold these and not declare a stop on them, because based off what is happening today, it's very possible that these swings on August 3rd can pay us very well. And another thing as well, we swinged SMCI puts into their earnings report, which was a solid entry. We did make around 23,000 on August 2nd because we swinged puts from August 1st to that day. So we swinged puts from August 2nd and sold them on August 3rd. And those will definitely maintain our profitability going forward. So that's pretty much what you need to do. On your broker statements, it's hard to really know exactly how much you are up by constantly. All it shows is your cash. Besides knowing your cash, you need to know what your overall profit is, and you need to consider every trade to zero, because one of the hardest thing about looking at your brokers is that it gives you the misconception that, let's just say if SMCI put is up $1,000, that your account value is up $1,000, but that's an unrealized loss or gain. We want to look at every trade that we have as a technical unrealized loss. It goes to zero until it's officially sold. Now, besides all that, let's go into the next section, which is going to be our charting, and we really want to discuss this as well. So in our Discord, as well as many of you guys already know, we give constant predictions about our analysis on everything. Okay, so you guys can see right over here, SPX had a very weak open since Monday. We opened near my estimated weekly low at 51.40. In theory, it was actually around 51.20-ish, but as you guys can see here, my levels are very strong. You can see it pops here, approximately slightly a little bit above this 52.42. It popped there and then it dropped all the way here and then held and then back to the 50-day moving average where it started to struggle. You can kind of look at the candle wicks where the trade often stops and holds. Okay, so these are key inflection points that is developed from premiums into our analysis when we're looking at them. Okay, so very interesting to see that here as well. And we stopped exactly at around 52.42. That's where we stopped. Now, going into today, we have the VIX expiration that is happening tomorrow, so that's very important. And we also know that SMCI earnings came out, Airbnb's earnings came out, and also there were earnings details from stocks like UPST as well, which we will discuss in a bit. But overall, you can see that our level is pretty much aligned here on SPX. If we do retest that 51.41, it's very possible we could see a new low for this month at 50.10. That's our absolute bottom for today. Now, we played SMCI multiple times here. Okay, so at Monday open, our SMCI puts that we had swung, they were basically at around my estimated weekly low. That's why we decided to sell them, and definitely that was a great move because they opened at around $30. We took those profits and we managed to pretty much wait for the next play. We waited for those puts to go back up again. So if I can find that SMCI over here, so pretty much once it got to the 50-day moving average, that's when I decided to get back into my SMCI put here again. And that's when, like you guys can see right over here, we took those SMCI puts right over here, the 500, and that's when we actually sold them in the room here. Okay, so once those SMCI puts were sold, we got back in, and when we got back in on close, there was around the same price that we had sold it at right over there. Now, SMCI earnings, the thing that can really impact SMCI is, and the reason why is down a lot, it's down 13%, as you guys can see here, below our level 1 bearish, had to do with their reduced margins. They went from 17 to 11%. The CEO didn't really do much. They did a 10-for-1 split, which will cause the stock to become meaningless in the future. It's pretty much going to be a dead stock, and it's going to be hard to play, not like how it is right now. And all these key risk factors that are going to be affecting the stock. So if it does break under this 510 mark here, it's very possible it can start to see this huge bearish breakdown. So if we go to our SMCI analysis here, where is SMCI? Perfect. So SMCI analysis, as you guys can see, is timestamped. Our bearish breakdown under 510 can see 459. So our 500 puts can pretty much pay a lot as soon as it gets to this huge hard inflection point, which we believe it would. And Nvidia is going to be at huge risk as well, because one thing on the SMCI earnings report that was mentioned was that the CEO was asked questions about their guidance in the future and when they will see revenue coming from Blackwell. Now, based on the CEO's confirmation, they said most of the profits will be Q2 of next year, which tells you that the delay is still present in the Blackwell chips, and you're going to see weakness in Nvidia as a result, because Nvidia is not going to show that revenue on Blackwell because of the chip delays that are kicking in. So we believe that it's very possible where Nvidia can see retest this estimated weekly low. So if you look here, estimated Nvidia opened at around $90 per share, which is below our 94 and 93. Very strong support around here. You know, we got a little bit of bearish bias earlier because we thought it would continue lower, but it didn't. Around these zones is where I start to use very caution, especially on the downside, because these are massive gammas. But it picked back up, ran up, you know, around our inflection points, and then back down. It's very possible it can retest 94 on Nvidia as well, and you can see that it's chopped around here for some time. We gave an amazing play on Dell, which is down around 5%, is at $90. So in our free chat, we gave everyone the sympathy play that if you like SMCI, you can take the 90 put, and these are definitely going to be paying dividends in the future here. Okay, Now let's talk about some strategies you can do when it comes to reading option premiums. So this is what I do to analyze premiums here. You guys can see that I have my entire watch list, which of course needs to be updated, but pretty much I have a list of both calls and both puts right over here. I often like to add a week on these premiums so I can kind of see. Now I set alerts on all these premiums so that way I know exactly when to get in and what inflection points that I can put in. You can see that there's some indicators on my premium charts here as well, and that pretty much helps me find the optimal price when it comes to choosing these premiums. So that is the end of our official recap. I hope you guys enjoyed this knowledge here as well. So far, I give tomorrow a bearish bias because of the VIX expiration. SMCI earnings are negative. SMCI earnings were actually positive, up 720. The stock ran, but then it went sideways. It got crushed once the margin information came out. The earnings wasn't so good. We knew that going in, it was going to be a big problem, but we're definitely making money in the StockX Discord, and I hope you guys are too. The best part of the StockX Discord mentorship is that you get a mentor that can help you coach, and these coaching lessons are literally priceless. You can't find them anywhere. All you got to do is book a session with us, and we'll make sure that you are getting the right information when it comes to your trading situation. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one, and like always, let's get that money. If you like this, give it a thumbs up and a like, and we appreciate all the love that you guys give us.